Hey there guys, Stefan here with another PoE video. I just wanted to go over my Atlas tree for the upcoming click start. Now I am aware that this unfortunately is still the O3. GGG have announced that they will not be announcing the updated one. They will announce it about 2 hours prior to league start, so we're not going to have it until tomorrow. So still about, well, less than 24 hours now, but about 18, 19 hours until we get that. So I probably will not be doing a video once it drops, at least not an initial video. Once I've gotten to map, I'll probably go into more detail once I see what they're adding, or what additional points they'll be adding for all the content on the Atlas. But because this is just going to be my initial plan, I thought even with the O3 it was still good enough, in the sense that it will give you just an idea how I plan my first Atlas progression, and what league mechanics I am trying to capitalize on. So before you start doing your tree, obviously think about what mode are you going to be playing in. It's absolutely obvious that if you're playing in SSF, you'd have certain priorities. If you're playing in hardcore or trade league, you'd have different priorities. You'd be looking for different things to accomplish with your Atlas tree. So my perspective would be softcore SSF, and in addition to the league mode that you'd be league starting, also think about, obviously in SSF, all the things that you need for your character, uniques or unveils, or specific mechanics that you may need to pursue on the Atlas tree. All of this needs to be done by yourself. You need to farm your items exclusively. You cannot rely on acquiring items through trade sites or getting it from other people, etc. So you need to really think about what you're trying to achieve with your Atlas tree. The cool thing about it is that it allows you to absolutely tailor your Atlas tree to match the content that you enjoy and the content that you need for your character. So I think in my opinion, it's always a good idea to make sure that the content that you enjoy running in game is the content that will give you the items that you're looking for, your league starter. So if you think about it, it's a really good way to pick a league starter rather than just focusing on what is the most effective league starter. I think it really pays as well to think about what league starter you would enjoy, because your league starter basically needs to be tailored to what type of content you want to handle. If you need to tackle content to acquire gear, that content that you don't enjoy, then it's not going to be a great league start, is it? Even if it's the most overpowered, insanely OP character, you're still not going to have a great time. So for example, for my league starter, the Cyclone, Cast on Channeling, Forbidden Rite, I'm gonna need two main things that stand out. Two things that I absolutely need. There is just no way to progress to my final character without acquiring those items. Now, the first thing is an unveil that allows me to craft on weapons. I believe it's an affix, but it's the ability for your hits to never miss. So in that way, when you craft it on your weapon, you in effect have resolute technique. You don't have to invest anything into accuracy. So because it's an unveil, we are gonna need to focus on betrayal mechanic. Now, I'm only going to focus on part of it on the tree, and I'll tell you which are the important nodes that we'll rush to get. Now, because this node here allows your maps to have 4% chance to grant an additional June mission on completion, we want to rush this node so that we get this at the beginning of our map progression. So the more maps we do, the more June missions we complete. So when we want to start running Betrayal to try to get the Unveil, we would have a good amount of missions so that we don't burn through them too quickly. Because I think that this Unveil would actually be quite rare. I think it's been definitely one of the rare unveils that I've seen. So I would absolutely need a lot of June missions. So we'll start from this end. We'll get the chance to acquire item missions. Then Immortal Syndicate members in your maps are 5% more likely to be accompanied by reinforcements. This one is the same. That means that we get more people to fight. Hence, it's easier to get people onto the board once you start your board, because you start with no people. You have to get the people that you want on the board, and then obviously you get more chance to get items for unveils if you have more people that you're fighting. And then this one, 2 chance for 1 monster of each of your maps to drop an additional connected map. That's always useful. Then we're gonna actually here. Okay, we'll go that way. Bridges. Actually, I'm not sure, because if we go straight here, we save 1 point. But if we go that route, we gain 2% chance for 1 monster in each of your maps to drop an additional connected map, which is quite important at the beginning. So I'll actually go that way so that I'll get more chance to find connected maps, so I can get to apply to complete my atlas sooner. And then we're gonna get this cluster as well. So we got here 1 more chance to grant June mission. The chance, the numerical chance to gain missions is always good for any mechanic that you intend to do in the future, because it just lets you bank missions, which is quite cool. And it's just like passive income. Basically, you're completing maps and you're just gaining missions, and then at some point you can decide to run them. But the importance, so we'll get those as well. So that's quite a lot of chance. Oh no, this one is chance to get missions. This one is chance to get missions. This one is chance to get missions. This one is chance to get missions, and this one is Immortal Syndicate members in your maps have 15% chance to drop an additional veiled items. This is quite important, because the more veiled items we drop, the more chances we have to find our unveil. And then Immortal Syndicate members in your maps are 100% more likely to be accompanied by their leader. Again, you're just getting to fight more people. So once at the end of the encounter, obviously you have more items, potentially more veiled items. And it also gives you Immortal Syndicate leaders in your map drop an additional veiled item. Excellent. And this one is Immortal Syndicate members in your maps are 200% more likely to offer to bargain for items. Immortal Syndicate members in your maps drop 200% more items when bargained for items. So all these notes that you are taking for Betrayal play into two teams. We're getting more June missions on completing maps, which we'll run later, and then when we run the missions, we get more items out of the Betrayal guys that we'll be fighting. So we've got that. Now the other Betrayal clusters are not really beneficial for me at that point, because I'll mainly be doing betrayal for the veiled items. I wouldn't be running it to get like safe houses or to get to Katrina and the other clusters, which are there's one here and one here. They're more suited towards running betrayal for not just for the veiled items, but to get more benefits out of the other things you get out of the mechanic, which at the moment, at least, I'm not too concerned about. So I'll focus on completing my atlas, and then I'll also implement one. I call it the brain dead strategy. It's not I'm not the person that has come up with it, but I have tested it quite a few leagues, and it's a really good SSF strategy, and it relies on strong boxes, essences, shrines. It's just content that's easy to do. It doesn't take up much time. It gives you relatively good returns for the start of your initial progression. It's easy to do. It's not super risky. Yeah, it doesn't give you maybe super end game rewards, but it's a good strategy to get you started. It's a good strategy to give you essences to craft your gear. It's a good strategy to get scarabs from the boxes and to get corrupted boxes, which potentially can give you a 6 link. And then also it gives you just more experience, because all of these mechanics add on extra monsters. I'm gonna add on harbingers, because the other thing that I'm gonna need for my character is I'm gonna need some raw currency, because the unveil I want, only the unveil itself is 3 exalts. So I'm gonna need 3 exalts, then I'm gonna need exalts for my meta crafting. So that's always useful, and also that gives you more monsters to kill, so more experience. So that's a really good strategy if you're not sure yet what strategies exactly you want to pursue in endgame. While you're just leveling, you're getting to level 95. You just want something simple, easy to do, not very difficult, that gives you relatively good rewards and allows you to build up your initial wealth of items, currency, and experience. So this will be my starting strategy, and then later on you can transition into whatever content you want to do. But I found that this is just a very reliable SSF starting atlas strategy. So what we're going to do is we'll follow this route for more chance to get connected maps. We're gonna rush to the Kirak thing so that we can get the additional Kirak mission each day. And at this point, what I like to do is I like to get the initial notes for each of the mechanics. So we get like 1 essence, 1 box, 1 harbinger, and 1 shrine. And then I'm just gonna continue to get map sustain and to increase the level of maps that I can potentially off. So we will go that way, get the essence, get the box, get the harbinger, get the shrine. So bear in mind that we try to get those extra elements of monsters in the maps. This is gonna be pretty early on, so I think you're probably by that point you have complete like tier 3, tier 4 maps. So you still have got loads and loads of maps to do to complete your atlas, and by taking those points you make sure that in each of those maps there is going to be 1 additional mechanic. So goes back to getting more experience, more wealth, which sets you up for later on. So at this point we can go that way and start getting chance for maps to drop a tier higher, we're gonna go through here. Shaping the mountains. And now in here, I was thinking about, I know that's a note that's not been taken very often. I've never tried it, but I was thinking if you try to force valve side areas, you get potential chance for a 6 link. And later on, obviously, when you get the box nodes, you get the corrupted box nodes. That also adds on a chance for those boxes to drop your 6 link. Obviously, corrupted 6 link, but for early mapping, for early progression, even a corrupted 6 link, if you can use the colors, would be very useful. If not, you just set it for fusings. So maybe I'm gonna go that way. Get this. And go get the box nodes. And start taking the essence stuff. Now, I'm not sure. I think I'll leave that one for last because that adds on 3 additional essences. So depending on how the character feels, I'll either not take it at all or I'll take it last. So we'll take this. Those essence notes. Which one do you want? Which side do we want to go? So chance to have an additional essence, so that's 10% chance, or here 10% chance to contain a remnant of corruption, 10% chance. Okay, we'll take the 20% chance for remnant of corruption rather than the 10% chance for an additional essence. And then we'll go here, finish up the essence nodes, and then we'll go up to the box nodes. We're gonna take all of them, even the map strong box ones, because I think that could be useful for building up your map base. So we've got some more shrine nodes here and some more shrine nodes here. So by that point we've got 25 points left, so that is pretty reasonable. Oh yeah, you've got you can get some more harbingers as well. Then go that way. Harbingers. Now, what we also would want to do, obviously this bit here, as soon as you get a usable 6 link, you're gonna drop it. And the other mechanic that we want, which is also very good for SSF, would be Expedition. But we don't have a lot of points, so let's see if we can get that. Oh, we want to get this as well, so that while you're not using while we are not using scarabs, we get more mechanics. I would take this as soon as you feel strong enough to run mechanics. If you feel that extra mechanics are detrimental to you because you either don't have the defense or the damage, maybe just don't use it. And then we also want to get Expedition. Let's see what Expedition. So we've got here, we get chance for Expedition. Then we get that. I will take the whole wheel. Okay, so we just have that. So we're missing another 5-6 points. What can we drop? I feel like at that point we probably can drop the Kirak notes. Yeah, we drop that. Gonna drop the Kirak notes. We'll just keep that one because it gives you an additional Kirak mission each day. And I think I find them quite useful because... Actually, do you get any other Kirak passives? Because I feel that you can still get quite a lot from your Kirak missions, and getting additional Kirak missions is... especially the ones that you can do in tier 16s that offer you like Guardian maps or maps that you can use to get to boss sets. They are quite useful and you can get them for obviously inflated price, but when you can't buy them from others on trade, even if you can find them for like 20 cows, it's still worth it in my opinion, and you can always farm more cows. But let's see what other Kirak passives are on the tree. The scouting reports. Is it just those two? Okay, yeah, just those two. So let's get all the expeditions. So yeah, I mean you can get everything. We'll take the chance instead of this. And if you drop all of the map sustain, because these nodes, once you've got enough tier 16s, which honestly you can get to that point quite easy, you can take those points off, and that gives you 13 more points that you can decide what you want to do. Again, depends how the new tree will be, because potentially they may add on more points pertaining to any of the mechanics which we are choosing. And if these points are good, obviously we are going to use those leftover points for that. But even if they're not, bear in mind that some of the points you get for completing like invitations or something like that. So I always like to plan my Atlas tree with having about 10 leftover points. It just makes it more realistic. Once you've got a good map base, you can take off those 3 nodes. So that gives you, 16 points. You can either invest them in the same mechanics if they add on more relevant points, or you can go into blocking. You can go very easily to those 2 block clusters and just block any mechanics that you don't particularly find useful, or find a mechanic that is nearby the ones that you are taking and invest in it. For example, I may decide to get chance to get alpha tempos on completing maps. Again, same logic as this one. Or we may actually decide to take all the rest of the betrayal. Or if you don't want to do betrayal, we may decide to just refund betrayal altogether once we've gotten our craft and invest in something else, maybe more heavily into alpha tempos or beast crafting or blight. It's up to you. Just really what I'll do is I'll probably, because I've never really explored those other mechanics in any sort of depth. I always have gone with that tree. Maybe I think I did full abyss last week, which was quite good, but I was doing an SRS, so I was really taking a lot of benefit for my build because I was getting a lot of duos, etc. So which allowed me to craft some really good duos and just continuously to corrupt them. That's why I needed a lot of new duos, because a lot of the ones I vow they'll get brick, so I need to recraft them. But this time I want to experiment with different mechanics, so I'm not gonna do a very solid plan beyond that point. Beyond that point, I'll probably just experiment with many different ways. I may go that way, I may go to that side of the tree, I may go this way. We'll see also how they're gonna sort out the bossing part of it, because they said that they will remove some parts, but we don't know if it will be all they will remove or exactly how they're gonna tackle it. Or potentially we may go that route and just use our points to get more effect of modifiers on your non-unique maps, which is also a good start just on its own. It just boosts the stats that you roll on your maps. But yeah, I'll definitely be playing around with different routes because I want to test them out and see which mechanics I get the most fun out of. Because this is a good starting altitude, but it's not very exciting. It just gives you, things to go and do quickly while you're mapping, but it doesn't sound too exciting. So once you build up your initial wealth, I think it would be much more beneficial to reinvest the points into other mechanics that give more end game focused rewards, like maybe Legion, Abyss we did, maybe Delirium, maybe specking into Altars. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of stuff for me to go through and test personally. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting the final tree as well. But for now, this we have to do. This is my plan. It's super simple. So I'm not even gonna upload. Actually, I will upload it. I will put the link to that tree in case you want to put it on your second monitor. You can do that, and this is pretty much how I will be running my atlas, at least for the first 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks, depending how things go. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks very much for stopping by the channel and checking out the new video. I'll see you in the next one, and have a good one, everyone. Cheers, bye bye.